I told you yesterday what your assumptions should be on rent growth for multifamily and self-storage, which is basically flat for probably at least the next year, if not 2 years. So if you see massive immediate amounts of growth with no impact on occupancy, you might think there could be a problem there. Was concentration risk. Concentration risk. You know, if all of your properties are on the Gulf in Galveston, do you have a little concentration risk just in case there's some type of a weather emergency? And the answer is yes. And that's why if you think about data centers, are data centers always just packed in one specific area, or do they have them all over the country? Because they want to make sure that if something goes bad, you're not just concentrating just in one area. So never over rely on a single individual. And then specifically with their team, and I have had some people say to me, Shanoa, you seem great, but quite frankly, if I'm going to invest with you, I don't really care so much about you and how good you are at pitching, but what I do care about is your team. So tell me about your team. Who's actually going to be the person who's running this project? Who's going to be the BOG, the boots on the ground? Who's going to be there every day? Who's going to be interacting with the people who are going to be paying the rents and the leases here so that I get a good return? So you got to make sure that your asset manager and your asset management team is on point to make sure that people get the return that they're looking for. All right, your business plan, number 3. Is the strategy and the business plan, is it clearly defined? And are the assumptions realistic? Are you doing a value add? If you're doing Class A, there's probably not much value to add. But if you're doing Class B or C, there might be an opportunity to add value. So what is your plan beyond just, well, the day that I come in there, I'm just going to be raising rents because the rents are not at market rents right now? Does that sound realistic? Even if the rents are 10% below? Because you know you're going to have an occupancy drop. Are the assumptions realistic? I told you yesterday what your assumptions should be on rent growth for multifamily and self-storage, which is basically flat for probably at least the next year, if not 2 years. So if you see massive immediate amounts of growth with no impact on occupancy, you might think there could be a problem there. Now, if they tell you, yeah, we're the problem, you know, and they have to explain that. And there are explanations for that. So we saw yesterday, the one that Mike was talking about. It's like, yeah, we're going to raise the rents because not only was it run by a mom and pop, it was run by a mom and pop who passed away, and then the grandma and grandpa got it. And yes, in that case, I could see some rent growth going on there because you actually have someone who's managing it. What's your rent growth, occupancy improvement, the timeline to be able to make that happen? Are you forcing it early? So sometimes we do this thing, we refer to it as investors, we say, I'm gonna go back and sharpen my pencil. What is sharpen my pencil a euphemism for? Sharpen my pencil, it is Latin for lie to myself, to say that the project's gonna turn out better than I originally thought. Your first one's gonna be more conservative. Lie to myself and say I'm gonna be able to sell it at a higher amount. Lie to myself and say I think I can bring the rents up faster. Lie to myself and say I think I can bring the occupancy up faster. Lie to myself and say I think I can get better financing than what I originally thought. Lie to myself and say I think I can go a little lighter. I was going to do 15,000 a unit to kind of refresh it. Now I'm going to go 12,000 a unit. Is that what sharpen my pencil means? When you're sharpening your pencil, you're risk shifting to you. So you're paying the seller more, but you're taking on more risk, more of the potential downside. So be careful when you are sharpening your pencil as a real estate investor and you're trying to give the seller a better offer.
If you'd like to come and change your life, get your financial freedom, love to welcome you in one of our workshops. We're actually here in Houston, but next week we're going to be in Dallas.
So Olivia can teach you how to fire your boss before you get fired.
And I just want to be ahead of the game. So that's why I always like to help you to fire your boss before you get fired. So it's just because it's just a matter of time before you get fired. So I want to be ready for that.
Awesome. We'd love to see you guys here. We love commercial real estate. Ping us, message us if you'd like to hear more.